Hello, everybody. I don't know how many people this will reach. Don't know how many people will watch this, but it's kind of a review mostly on the ZT0308. I'm probably going to title it that, so it's kind of obvious at this point. The reason why REC sitting here, River Edge Cutlery, they're out of Ohio. I'm out of Iowa, but I'm a big Browns fan, so keep the orange, guys. Um, Shout out to these two companies. Order from Blade HQ, they give people a lot of stuff. They go fast, the mats and whatnot, and they're amazing company as well. But Scott here is really hands on. I had a problem with the ZT I received. It wasn't a major issue. Get into it in a minute, but just wanted to put those out here because, as a size comparison, sorry, I've got a congestion, but no, it's not COVID. I've been tested. But this knife here is my favorite Benchmade, and this came from River's Edge Cutlery. That's where I ordered that from. That's why I wanted to put both of these out here to let you know I don't have a Blade HQ cloth or even a sticker for that matter. But that's where this came from, was a Blade HQ exclusive. And then I don't have Bass Pro Shop anything. That came from Bass Pro. Anyway, I just wanted to... I know there's excitement about the 0308. There was last year when it came out at the beginning of the year or whatever. I almost bought it. I think what stopped me from buying it was probably the scale. I wasn't really into the Coyote Brown. Plus, I bought two Hinders last year, both of which got sold to get my daughter an iPad. This is not a knock against Hinder either. Don't think that. I love Hinder knives. I love Rick Hinder is a great guy. They got a Facebook group that's amazing with amazing people on it. But my favorite knife yet completely is the ZT0308. I know a lot of people say, oh, you can't wear shorts. Well, who's going to wear athletic shorts anyway? I mean, if you're, yeah, that's a bug out issue. Bailout may even be good enough for that. But to me, if you buy a 0308, which comes with this scale right here, they send you the original scale with it. It's kind of plastic. I think it's supposed to be G10 or whatnot. But it's just not that great. And the knives are literally no everywhere I've looked. River's Edge Cutlery, I don't even know if it sells these or not. I didn't pay much attention, but I know USA Made Blade does. The DLT Trading Company, I think, does. I know Blade HQ does, obviously, but everywhere I look, $300 solid. You spend anywhere from $5 to $20 more, and you get customized from USA Made Blade, and that's where this comes in, because this is in dark walnut. I mean, this scale alone would probably cost more than $10, but this cost $310. This knife. For that, they gave the scale, the bars and stars, or the stars and stripes, whatever you want to call the flag. It's been engraved into the titanium lock side. They're easy to tear apart. You use a 1 or a ½ inch wrench. I've done it 3 times, and that's where I'm going to get into why you just put that on here and it's real easy to tear down and put together. Done it 3 times, and the reason why is because when I first got this, let's zoom out here a little bit, I would barely push this flipper, and it would come out, it would deploy, and it would not go full. Now, if I gave it a good flick, it would deploy fully, but it literally took no effort hardly to deploy that blade. The detent was really weak. So Scott is an amazing guy. He's great at customer service. Big shout out to him. He showed me pictures of his, told me how to tear it down, where it should be, the lock bar, because you can take these apart and pull the lock bar this way. Did it once, put it back together to no avail, still weak. Not quite as weak, but still weak. Did it to where he had his, about to where he had his. I apologize for dinging and stuff. That's one thing I do not like about Samsung phones, is that a notification comes through and everybody hears it, rather than like Apple, you don't hear it on video. and the autofocus too. Anyhow, rant over on that. The second time I did it about where he was, and still to no avail. It was still fairly easy to misfire, and I was afraid it was going to do it in my pocket. So he, being a great customer service specialist, is what I'd like to call him, that he is, he offered to replace it. Yeah, and it felt so great in the hand. I just did not want to get rid of this. I didn't want to lose it for a week or whatever it was going to take to get this there and then get another one back. So last ditch effort, I took it apart a third time and I pushed that thing over probably a hair more than his, a little over maybe a couple hairs if you want to be technical. It's probably just a little bit more detent than it comes from the company, but it may be right close to where it was. And I was worried about the pivot, screw, getting it back on, and having the blade too tight. And it was a lot easier than any other knife I've ever done, and the centering stayed perfect through all three teardowns. Literally, it's just these three screws, some washers, this pivot screw, some washers in there, and that's pretty much it. Anyways, as you can see now, you barely push it, you're not getting nothing out of it. But you just push some steady force onto it slowly, and you'll see that it doesn't misfire. It comes all the way out. Now, obviously, having had this knife for a while, and the ergonomics on this knife are next to none. This is why I have size comparisons out on the table, and it's hydraulically smooth. You could probably loosen it a little bit more, the pivot screw, but I kind of like it like that. I don't want it drop shut and cut my hand open because I'm kind of a dipwad like that. And then obviously this is Weehaw. This is amazing. Comes with more bits in there. The standard bit's like 15. It won't show on there, but it's in there. It's in the place of the T6. That's what I used for these here. These are T6. It might be T8 actually. Let me look. Let me look real quick so I do not misrepresent the fact what size they are. They are a T8. That's a T8. The clip is a T6. And the reason why I know it's T8 is because that big 15 is sitting in the spot of the T8. Anyhow, back to it. I'm sorry to drag this on, but I can't say enough about this knife. I've seen a lot of excitement, yes, but people do not give it the attention that it deserves. Like I say, this knife will literally make you want to stop wearing your athletic shorts and go get a pair of jeans, some big boy britches. I don't know why they don't push this more. ZT needs to make this the center of their knife, period. Build a 0308 Mini for people that want a smaller knife. Is it going to be as light as a bug out? No, it's ZT. It shouldn't be. But for those with smaller hands, they can experience the love of the ergonomics of this blade. Whoever designed this blade in-house, a genius. Absolute genius. Who cares about this? Oh, this is going to get stuff in it. Shh, stop nitpicking. This literally, I could nitpick Benchmade all day on their 940s. Is that going to stop anybody from buying it? No, absolutely not. 940 is their flagship knife. I mean, it really is the Osborne. This Benchmade's got the best action of any knife I own. This little bug out, it just falls shut. This one will be like that eventually. This is the CF Elite from Blade HQ. Again, sorry about the notifications, guys. I promise it's not COVID. And here's the bailout. This is probably my favorite Benchmade. I had a 940, and yeah, I'm kind of a jack wagon. I know that's kind of a weird word. This old hillbilly I used to know that worked at Orkin with me when I worked at Orkin used to say that all the time, and it just stuck with me. But the bailout, to me, feels better than the 940. I was just not real big on the 940. The handle just seemed smaller this way. Anyhow, plus I like a Tonto, and that's a smooth knife. I would highly recommend this knife. M4 steel. It's highly corrosive, but that's the reason they put coating on the blade. and oil it up once a week if you're using it regularly or getting it wet. Dry it off, oil it up. Should have no issues at all. Very good steel. So that's kind of a size comparison there, real quick. But yeah, I'm going to keep ranting and raving about this ZT038 because look at the monster. It's a tank, and literally, I've said on Facebook, if Rambo carried a pocket knife to whittle sticks with, this would be it. And everybody said, well, we the people, the government screwed him. We the people ain't about the government, it's about the people. It might be now. I mean, government tries to make everything about them, but this is razor sharp. This could be their Osborne. They need to make this a center. It'd be like ZT, experience it. You know, it used to be overbuilt, but this is overbuilt. And experience it is a great motto. Keep the motto because you have to experience the 0308 to appreciate it. I say, yeah, go to USA Made Blade. They had, I don't know if they still have it. I don't think it's on there anymore, but they had one that was G10 with black spiderweb on it. But if you like the Coyote, go with that. I mean, ZT needs to offer this in more blade style, or blade styles even. Take the same harpoon style and make a little Tonto out of it, a Tonto tip out of that. I don't care. I mean, keep this blade. This is the original 0308. I know it was based on the other 300 series, but keep the 0308 as the center. Put some DLC coating on the blade. Sell it like that with this handle or a green handle or different kind of handles. There's a lot of aftermarket parts you can get for this. USA Made Blade has micarta. They have everything. Like, they do special runs all the time. And for anywhere from 5 to 20 more, that's just amazing. I want to get more of these. They really need to, like I said, make this their Osborne. I know I'm repetitive, but ZT, someone show ZT this. Shut me up already. They need to do little mini, not tiny minis, but they need to do a miniature of this so that, like I said, the people with the small hands can experience this. This knife is just absolutely amazing. You hear the detent when you flick it open. I mean, you could flick these open just like this. Do you hear the thwack on it? I love it. That aluminum sounds good. Plastics kind of, you know, a lot of people said these are toyish acting or sounding. Do different steels. Do M4 steel. For crying out loud, that would be amazing. These things, I swear, should be standard military issue. ZT should issue these standard military. They got heft, you know, you got a knife on you, and you want a knife to deploy, you just, you know it's going to deploy. It's got perfect ergonomics. I got fairly good sized hands, and that is just absolutely amazing. I mean, you can see my hands are fairly big. I can almost cover all 4 knives with my hands, but this thing, that's why I said they'd make a mini. And I hope that ain't ringing in your guys' ears. I didn't hear no ringing on my side. Hopefully that didn't ring. We'll find out when I upload it. Anyways, like I said, it's a knife you guys have to buy. Anybody, especially if you guys have Hinders. I love Hinder, but this is way better than Hinder in my opinion. It's a little bit heavier. It just offer higher end steels even. 20 CV is equal to M390 anyway. But do some M4, you know, people want to beat on a blade that has great edge retention and toughness. That's an M4. But this flipper is what makes it better to me because it has great ergonomics. It isn't a big hot spot on the end of your hand like a Hinder, because a Hinder swoops up like this. Anybody that's had a Hinder knows your fingers sore for quite a while after flipping those and getting them broke in because they're stiff at first. Again, Hinder's a great knife. Nothing against Rick Hinder. He does great collaborations with ZT. He designed some for ZT, and they're amazing looking. But to me, this flipper, this is an in-house design. You can tell by that logo there. You could run with that logo even. You could put that logo on some scales. There's people out there that do it. People bought a bunch of Benchmade Blade HQ exclusive. They weren't Blade HQs. They just, I think they sold them everywhere. I seen them on River Edge Cutlery, but they were sold out too already. But they had the natural G10 or Jade G10, and they had the butterfly logo there. Some people didn't like it. Well, don't buy it, duh. But I wouldn't buy one probably with that logo clear across the scale. But there's a lot of people out there that would. I'm just saying you could run with this 0308. You have your staple, your flagship knife right here, and I don't even think the ZT knows it. They're making 0707. That's an awesome knife. Well, so's Bug Out, but it's not their flagship. The Bailout's amazing. It's not their flagship. Griptilian's pretty darn close to their flagship. People love the Griptilian. I didn't like it. It just felt like, I'm not trying to dog Benchmade. The handle was shaped weird. It was thick, but it just felt like a turd. It was kind of like tapered off. Like a tapered off turd. It comes out and it kind of flops. I don't know. It just personal preference. I didn't like it. I like this Bailout. I think they could have probably done without this jimping here because my finger just naturally wants to extend out and hit here. So there's a little bit of hot spot there when you do that. Unless you choke up on it, then you obviously don't have a hot spot. But it's a great knife, Benchmade. I think you guys have another win here in this Bailout. But again, this is the Osborne of the ZT world. I'm sorry, but it is. You can make it smaller for people, make it come in 2 different sizes, and many different options. And you guys will sell the heck out of them. I think everybody in America should own one of these knives. Not just America, the world. Let's not make it about America. I said America because we the people. But people overseas deserve to experience the ZT too. Heck, get a custom knife maker over there to put the British flag on it, for crying out loud. I don't care. It's made in the USA. It's the thing is, everybody wants to scream, oh, Kai's Japanese company. Who cares? There's Kai USA, buddy. I don't care if it's Kai Britain. This knife is amazing. I don't care where it come from. Spyderco's best knives come from Taiwan. If you want to whine about that, oh, Golden Colorado Earth, USA Earth. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm not a real big Spyderco fan. Their blades, their customer service is horrible in my opinion, and some people probably think different, but that's what it's about. I mean, opinion. Everybody has one. They're like assholes, right? But anyway, that's supposed to be excuses. Or like assholes. Everybody has one, but I say about opinions too, because hey, shoe fits, wear it. Anyhow, sorry for this long video and this rant. Again, I just can't say enough about this knife and about the company that it came from. Same with REC. Great company. Great company. I mean, they were luckily the only ones that had the Bailout in stock at the time. And thank God they were, because then I found a great company in the process of that whole search. Bass Pro Shop one. The Blade HQ exclusive. That's got that green standoffs. Like I said, I'm not doing a knock on anybody that likes little knives. I mean, that's your preference. That's your preference. But you really have to experience this. And again, if it's too big, start getting the word out there too. Maybe ZT will run with it and make it their Osborne, make smaller ones for you. Because if they made one, a little bit smaller, I'm telling you, a lot of people would love it. The office workers, because it's not like super scary. I mean, this one kind of is with We the People, I think, was what does it. It's just because it's got writing on the blade and it just looks like a tank. I mean, I don't know, guys. I guess I'll just quit ranting and raving now because I've repeated myself 300 times, but a true knife enthusiast out there won't care because they'll just keep watching just to be able to see the knife. They'll mute me if they have to. Because, I mean, I've done it. I've sit there and watched Birdshot 4's video on this hundreds of times, and Metal Complex, and Slicey Dicey, and he's amazing too. They're all amazing. No offense to anybody else, but sorry, Slicey Dicey and all you, but Birdshot 4, oh man, they're my favorite. Those two are amazing, man. Frankie, love Frankie. She's hilarious. And their dog, you love their dog too. I got dogs of my own. But anyway, sorry for the extended video. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys watching this. I know not many people will see it. I'm not real well known, but hey, go out and get yourself a ZT 0308. Do yourself a big favor.